Hello students, this presentation is to help you better understand the Azella test. As you know, you must pass this test in order to test out of the SEI program. The Azella proficiency scale and cut scores is shown in this table. You will be taking level 5 test. So that's the high school test that's at the very bottom here. It's for 9th through 12th graders. The total score that you need to get is on the bottom here. And so the score that you are aiming for is the proficient score. This is a score that will allow you to pass the Azella test. It is a range from 2,550 to 3,000. The reason why it's a range is because you can score lower in certain areas and still pass the test. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that more as we go. So, oh, my apologies. So if we look down here at this other table, it also goes from grades 1 all the way to high school, kindergarten to high school. And if you look at that, there are 4 different sections on the test, but the 2 sections that matter the most are the reading and the writing. So you must be proficient in reading, which means a score of 250, and you must be proficient in writing, which is a score of 250 as well. So for the stage 5 test, the high school test, 33% of the test is reading, and also 33% of the test is writing. It is by far the most that the test is made out of. These 2 categories make up most of the test. There is also listening. 16% of your test is listening, and 18% of your test is speaking. Now, I know I told you that reading and writing are the most important and that you have to pass that with a 250 or above, but listening and speaking are also important. So don't think that you don't have to practice speaking because it's not as important. That's not true. If you can't speak it, then you won't be able to write it or read it. So these are all important. This blueprint tells you what was just shown on the other slide. It just shows you how it's broken up. So if you look at the reading, 33% of the test is reading. But if you break up what the reading questions are about, 21% are about print concept, phonemic awareness, and decoding. And 79%, most of the reading questions are about comprehension. Just do you understand what you're reading? Do you have an understanding of the main idea and what the reading is about? For the writing, that's 33% of your test. But if you look at what the writing is made up of, you have applications of writing, conventions, just knowing like how to capitalize, commas, periods, etc., and then process elements and research of writing. The listening is all comprehension. Do you understand what you are listening to? And for the speaking, they're looking at delivery. Can you speak? And then can you repeat? One thing that's interesting is that the test is at a Lexile. For high school, it's at about 550 to 1150. So the readings I'm choosing for the summer program, I'm actually trying to get as close to 1150. If you look at this Lexile, it's middle school to 9th grade Lexile. That's what these numbers mean. Like, how difficult is the reading? What's the complexity of the reading? So a lot of the books that I chose, they weren't random. They're actually at this Lexile level. So I hope you take the reading seriously to help prepare you for this reading level. If you look at this rubric, it tells you what they're looking for when you write your paragraph. You're shooting for a score of a 5 or a 4 in order to pass your Azella test. I recommend you pause the video at this time to read the rubric details for what you need to do to get a 4 and what you need to do to get a 5. We will look at this in more detail when we practice writing. These are the 3 different types of writing that they might ask you to do during the Azella test. They might ask you to do a narrative, expository, or persuasive. Please pause the video at this time to read each one.